Today I'm going to be talking about a very interesting topic. It's part of my NRI. It is part of my YoMa vlogs. This is pretty. I don't know why would you like if you're moving from, let's say, one place to another in America. I'm going to suggest you a couple of places where you can get settled. Right? Many people evaluate when they want to get settled. They evaluate Florida, Atlanta, Texas, Arizona, Bay Area, San Diego, LA. They evaluate all these, the lower southern cities, all the southern USA cities. Nobody wants to go to Minneapolis to get settled. If they're stuck there for some reason, they would stay there. Some people do evaluate Seattle and Portland also. I'll give you my views. I will tell you certain things about all these places which you would be surprised to know. You may know certain things, you may not know all these things, but I'm sure you'll find it is one fact which is useful. But at the end, I'll tell you a little bit about Sacramento, and then you think about what you want to do. That will be totally up to you. Again, this is just one factor. There may be some additional factors, and those really matter. So I would not say that this is just one factor. I cannot really recommend on the basis of any of these things. It really is a very it's a personal preference. Let's go with easy targets first. Seattle. Do you know in Seattle it rains all the time? Have you ever heard of this? It rains all the time. Where Microsoft is, where T-Mobile is, Packard is, Boeing is, there are just so many companies there. Amazon headquarters are also in Seattle. Yeah, right where Bill Gates lives, it rains all the time. You may think, oh wow, that'll be really nice. Actually, it is not so nice. Many people know, people who live in Seattle, they all know that it's very depressing. Seattle is extremely depressing place to live. You cannot go out anytime without getting wet. It's raining all the time. It's very hard to live in Seattle because of that. Portland is same. They are just 3 hours apart from each other drive-wise, and they are also similar. I've lived in Portland and for 1 month, 1.5 months, and I know it's disturbing. After 3 or 4 weeks, it starts to get onto you because you cannot go out. It's always raining. A good side about this is it's always very green. Seattle is very, very green, and you can't imagine how green. It's really nice that way. In summers, for about 1.5 to 2 months, it's very beautiful because it doesn't rain as much and the greenery is still there. But 10 months, it's always raining, always. You want to go for a jog, raining. You want to go for an outing, raining. You want to go for a hike, raining. That's the reason many people prefer California. Texas. Do you know in Texas, it can be really, really hot. And I told you about the Texas. You should watch my video. Texas. Definitely watch my video about Texas in Texas. That's a very important factor. I'm not going to go over it again. You go watch it again. You go watch it yourself, and then you would know. Texas in Texas. And there are 2 parts, I think. You should listen to both. Those are something that nobody talks about. Texas is hot, everybody knows. Arizona is also very hot. It gets about 50 degrees Celsius in summer sometimes. 50 degrees Celsius. If you stay outside for 5 minutes, 10 minutes in that much heat, even if you've taken, let's say, 2 glasses of water, you'll get dehydrated very fast, and you will pretty much collapse. Arizona. Florida. Florida is famous for hurricanes. And second thing is, Florida has a lot of tourists coming. Tampa, Miami, all these places. You must have seen me with Dostana, right? Many people don't like tourist places in America. You should know that. It's not a happy thing to be there. Because your kids, when they start to go to school, they get exposure to these things. And you don't want your kids, when they're walking to the school, see people drinking on the street and even, some very bad things happening on the street. You don't want that, right? So many people don't prefer that. That's the reason many people don't go to Las Vegas also. In Las Vegas, prostitution is legal. Did you know this? In Nevada, prostitution is illegal. Nevada has no income taxes. Las Vegas has a lot of jobs, IT jobs as well. All these casinos hire IT people also. So there are a lot of jobs. Don't get me. There is no dearth of jobs. And there is no dearth of entertainment. But raising kids there is not easy, because even in public schools, in any school, the kid next to you could be basically, you never know what household he or she is from. Again, it's about kids. I don't want to really say too much, but you probably understand what I'm talking about. Mother could be anything, doing whatever work. She could be doing any work, and so could be the case with the father. So, nobody likes to. I mean, in America, there's, it's not a good thing to raise kids in Las Vegas. That's what many people believe. I'm not the final authority here, but you should know that. Now, within California. So, many people like to move to California. In California, state income taxes are very high. Sales tax is very high. Property tax are a little controlled, not that much. And so that's a complete picture of California tax wise. But interesting thing about California, many people don't know. In San Diego, if you Google, San Diego is among the top 10 places to live on earth. Yes, among top 10 cities. So San Diego can be a great choice. I would highly evaluate, but remember one thing about it. You have a lot of radiation exposure in San Diego. The ozone layer is depleted. Go Google. So chances of getting skin cancer are high. Go find out the data. I don't have the data. Now that I've given you the main point, go and Google and you will find out results. What is the likelihood of getting skin cancer in San Diego? It's very common. If you have a choice, think about it. If you have a choice to move to whatever location, think about it. LA. LA is extremely high in crime, as you would expect. Los Angeles. There are gangs, and you're always in a you really just cannot go to. There's so many areas where you just cannot go to, and they can even come to your area. It's not a big deal. So I'm just saying that it's very dangerous. I don't like LA because of just that reason. However, in LA, in winters it doesn't get very cold. See, I don't know. Nobody tells you all this. I didn't know for a long time that in LA it never gets cold. It never gets too warm. It never gets too cold. Some people like it because then they can play cricket. They can be outdoors 365 days a year. But many people don't like it also because they want to experience 4 seasons, all 4 seasons. And similarly, same this weather thing is true for San Diego also. By the way, San Diego and LA are just 2 hours apart. Another good thing about Los Angeles and San Diego is all these great West Coast places are Disneyland, Legoland, this land, that land. Las Vegas is also just 3 hours away from LA. So all these are nearby. Life of entertainment. A lot of relatives will visit you, by the way. Remember that part too. I don't know whether it's good or bad. It's your personal thing. So it depends on you. But remember, if you're in LA, all the relatives will keep visiting you. So you should know that. Because everybody comes to Disneyland and you are there. Legoland, San Diego Zoo is famous. There's just so many places in all these. SeaWorld is famous in San Diego. There are 3 big attractions in LA has Universal Studios and all those things. Everybody will visit you. Remember that part, you should know that. I'm just saying you should know that it's not a big thing. It's probably a good thing. If you're a people person like me, you would like it. I love it. I keep inviting everybody. I love to meet with people. I just want to have a normal life, as we had in India. People should visit me. So I love that, but that's me. Who knows? You may not like it. So you should evaluate that. So these are LA and San Diego. So in LA, crime, and the other thing is crime is very high, and the other aspect is in LA you don't get all 4 seasons. It's pretty much subdued seasons. Like winter is you don't even a light jacket. You need a very light jacket. And in summers again, same thing continues. It's not very hot or it's not very cold. Bay Area, super expensive. I told you about many aspects of Bay Area. I'll tell you one very interesting aspect of Bay Area which everybody overlooks. When you're settled in Bay Area, or when, for example, let's say I'm settled in Sacramento, right? Some of my friends, I know that they're going to be friends for life. In Bay Area, your friends will never be for life because they will move. Half of them will move because of the hardships in Bay Area, because of high taxes, because of high prices, because of real estate and all that. They will have to move. They have no choice. This is not a great place to settle. This is a very interesting point. You may not like, you may not agree, you may not disagree, but these things matter. When these hit you, that's when you realize your daughter lost her friend, your son lost his friend, you lost your friend, your wife lost her friend. It's just everybody is there. A musafir is there like temporary resident. They will all move, and I don't think that's a great idea. So that's because of that I don't like LA, Bay Area. Come to Sacramento. I'll tell you a lot of things about Sacramento. I'll tell you a lot of things about Sacramento which you do not know. You get all 4 seasons. In winter, there are 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, which are very cold, but it doesn't snow like New Jersey, like North area. In summers, 2 to 3 weeks are very hot, but not as hot as Arizona, but they are very hot. You really enjoy that because that's good for your body. At least I believe that's good for my body, having 4 seasons. It rains in winters, though, in Sacramento. You have spring, very beautiful spring. You have fall. All these leaves change their colors during fall. All this, I show you the vegetation. This whole scenery is very different in fall. So it will be about 2 months. I'll show you all that, the change of colors. Cost of living is very much lesser than Bay Area, much lesser, 5 times lesser. The house prices are 5 times lesser. Many people say, I bought a house for 1.6 million in Bay Area, or 2 million in Bay Area, and here the house is for 800K. Hey, you're not doing an orange or comparison. This 800K is a brand new house. $2 million house is a 40-year-old house. That's in this country, this matters. Because remember there is a video, you should show the real cost of owning real estate. You should know that, and there is a very interesting comparison I make, that land value is very low here, and the values of the structure. So if the structure is old, then that matters. So it's not a fair comparison. Yeah. If you buy the same old house in Folsom or in Sacramento, that'll be 300-400K. Same old house, same size, same. And that will be like much lesser than Bay Area. Life is much more relaxed. You are never rushed. You make friends for life. Have you heard of these fires, California fires? They don't come as close to Sacramento as you would think. They never come to Sacramento. They come close in LA area. They come close to you in San Diego area. They come close to you in Northern California. We are in Northern California by the map, but there are other places which are much northern than us, and that's where the fires occur. Don't occur close to us. A very interesting thing about Sacramento is, if you want to go to beach, 2 hours here. If you want to go to hills, 1 hour here. But you don't have to deal with the high prices of those areas, and you don't have to deal with the tourist crowds of those areas. You're in the middle. You will be surprised how big Indian community is here. Many people believe it doesn't have an Indian community. Wrong. Huge Indian community, not little, huge. So huge that, let's say you make a friend circle. You have 1 or 2 friends. It will explode. Very soon you will be 30, 40, 100 friends, 100 families. I have seen this happening multiple times. Sacramento is just full of desis, lot of desis, tens of thousands of desis. I personally know, if not more, at least 1,000 Punjabi families. 1,000 Punjabi families only. Just so many desis, you can't imagine. Take this thing out of your mind that there are no desis here. A lot of desis. Single ही मैंने ढूंढ लिए. I have a very unique surname, right? You can find every kind of person here. Huge. There are 3 Telugu associations, not 1, 3. There is a separate Gujarati association. There is a separate Punjabi association. There is a separate Kannadiga association. There are a couple of Bengali associations, Marathi associations, all kinds, and they all celebrate everything together. They will celebrate their major festivals together. Yeah, you will be surprised. Durga Puja होती है, सब चीजें होती हैं. क्या बोलूं? मराठी फेस्टिवल्स होते हैं, तेलुगु फेस्टिवल्स होते हैं, बथुकम्मा भी होता है तेलंगाना का. All these festivals occur here. So it has a huge community, trust me, and everything is celebrated. Obviously your Navratris are celebrated and that Dandiya is celebrated a lot. Sacramento State University, full of the Sac State, full of Desi kids. University of California in Davis, full of Desi kids. At one point of time I had a circle. Trust me, it was a very big circle. It was it was so much fun that it became a problem. I'll tell you how. We had some students, 21, 20 years of age students as part of my circle, 30 years of newlywed couples, 35 years of age people with small kids, and then 45 plus with older kids. We were all part of this one big circle. And it kept on growing so big. Within 2 months we had about 100 families. And it was hard for us to control, like hard for us to kind of meet, because you cannot meet with everybody, right? I'm just telling you, here in Sacramento there are just so many Desis, you will be like completely surprised. So forget this, we don't have a Desi life here. Very good Desi life. Alright guys, a lot of factors which go in favor of Sacramento. Tell me all the things that you know about Sacramento which don't go in anybody's favor. Sacramento is going through a severe drought, maybe that's another thing, but I don't see the impact so far in my life. We get the water in the tap, everything is there. I told you guys about the restrictions that we had some time back related to lawn, like watering the lawns, etc. But that is one thing that sometimes I have dealt with in the last 10 years. But in general, Sacramento I really feel is a very good place to settle. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.